Make some noise for Dineo Ranaka! You got fired from Kaya FM.
Kaya is a boys' club, so nobody would ever wake up and like the fact that a person
female.
with a vagina is an anchor. They want a person with a penis to be an anchor. And I'm not going to be a trans anytime soon.
There was a lot of scrutiny with your dynamic with Saul. A lot of people felt you were overpowering him.
I will always overpower anyone that I am led to, I'm contracted to anchor. I'm not going to sit here and battle gender politics with people that are peanut brains that don't understand.
Why did you walk away from your first marriage?
Abuse. We can do a lot of things, but I don't understand why we must hit each other. And also that wild cheating, man. The vaginal Olympics.
Is that what we're calling cheating now?
You have no business arguing about the bill. As a man, you're on social media with your whole handle. All of us know who you are. You've got no pride. To i-restaurant pili 50-50 ni busy niya complain niya arguishana mina ngeke ya la mantombazana yahlanya la bafazi bahlanya. Guys, you are a man.
I think women struggle with a lot of accountability too. The one that's put in the forefront is be a provider. I'm not seeing a lot of women saying, I need a man that's kind. I'm not seeing a lot of women saying, I need a man that needs to come from a good family where he's going to understand the dynamic of a relationship. So guys feel if they can pay a woman's bills, they're sufficient enough for any woman.
So don't date hungry girls. Make sure they've eaten where they come from. Make sure they've got the Uber Eats app.
This is what we're here for. It's the L-TIDO Podcast.
Joe. Which are weird.
Why am I the host?
I'm gonna dare myself, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the L-TIDO Podcast. Today's guest, man, she's a multifaceted woman. So she wears so many hats. She's an amazing broadcaster. She's a reality show superstar, I guess. She's a TV producer. She's an entrepreneur. She's a podcaster. Come on, without further ado, make some noise for Dineo Ranaka!
I haven't really settled in yet as a podcaster.
Uh-huh.
I'm still touch and go.
Yeah.
I'm still touch and
But
go.
you did wear that hat.
I did wear that hat. I did,
it's
and I
only
wore it
right.
successfully, actually, because we ended up on
Exactly.
BET, so that's pretty dope.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
So it's only right we give you that accreditation.
Aww.
Thank you for coming through, Dineo.
You're
Good to
welcome.
have you.
You're welcome.
You are like I was telling you before we started the show. You are like a very well-spoken human being, and you
Jeez.
are just you speak your mind.
Yeah.
You're very opinionated. So I was actually looking forward to having a sit down with you.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. And I was telling you actually pre the show that we started rolling, you invited me just as I was closing my book of silence. And just as I'm opening my book of, let's engage with the entertainment industry again, let's engage with people again, let's take interviews again. So nice timing.
Okay.
Nice timing.
That's what's up.
Like I said, God likes you.
Oh, shout out to God out there. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you hibernate, it actually allows growth
Oh,
because you're
Habulo.
not in the mix
Yeah.
of things. You get to look at things from outside
Yeah.
and have a different perspective of
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think it was a great decision.
Thank you.
When I first heard of Dineo, it was I think on radio, right?
Yes, it was radio.
Specifically YFM. Then you went on to do you've been to all the biggest radio stations.
Yes, I have.
We'll run your resume. You went from YFM, you went to 5FM.
I started at 5FM actually,
Yes.
then went to YFM.
Then you did Metro.
Yes.
Then you did
Actually, I
Kaya.
did Highfeld Stereo before Metro.
Wow, you
I
even
did a
went to
short
Highveld.
stint. Yeah, I did a short stint at Highfeld Stereo.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you went Metro, you went to Kaya.
Yeah.
You've got all the infinity stones in your hand.
I
you
do.
did all of the radio. And you are an amazing broadcaster. I actually need to give you those flowers and props.
Kelebo.
It's not by luck that you ended up in all those radio stations.
Yeah.
But some way, somehow, your relationship with radio there's a lot of turbulence there.
There is turbulence. There is turbulence. And I think the turbulence is, oh man, where do I even start with the turbulence? I'm good at radio.
Mm-hmm.
Do I love radio? Yes, I love radio. Do I think and believe radio loves me and has honored me the way I've honored it? I don't think so.
For people who are watching, maybe this message might be cryptic for them.
It's very cryptic.
I want to be like so transparent,
Yeah.
and so they get to understand, because a lot of people sometimes watch podcasts for perspective.
Yeah.
You know, some of them have never done radio, and they probably like thinking like, oh man, I would love to do radio. Dineo has gone through her trials and tribulations through radio. What are these trials and tribulations? Like why there is so much turbulence with you and radio?
The expectation for me to be a woman that I'm not, and to be a mold of woman that I'm not. I'm not a woman who obeys the rules. I break the rules. I'm not a woman who submits without, because submission is not just a relationship thing, a romantic relationship thing. Submission is not just a marriage thing. You have to submit to something in life. Something must humble you in life. Something must, and not humble you negatively, but something must bring you to the core of your humility. To say, I surrender and I will do everything that is required of me for this to be healthy. So you were a rapper, you submitted to the trajectory of podcasting, and you submitted to everything that was required of you, right? You'll research people, you'll read, you'll watch, you'll do this, you'll do that. So you started podcasting, and then you started spending your time differently. You started changing your interest in content, I would assume, and in
Facts.
how you see yourself and in how you present yourself. You probably started measuring yourself against other people that interview other great people, and you say, well, this is beyond just sitting having conversations with people. I'm a vessel now, and I have to channel myself differently. So there is a certain submission that is required of me to fit a certain mold. It's almost like if I were to say, a lot of men have come into my life to try and crack that code of mine and mold me to be a typical female force. I'm not a typical feminine. I'm a complex feminine. I ask questions. I want for things to be understood by myself, and I want to have the freedom of self-expression in Dineo's authentic way, not be molded to be a little radio princess when I'm not. I'm not a radio princess. I'm a broadcast tractor. You understand? And radio often requires for females to mold themselves to suit the corporate revenue agenda, the brand agenda. I can work with brands. I can work with corporate. Actually, my career started as a corporate girl before I entered entertainment. But my spirit is wild. My spirit is carefree. My personality is just the same. If you can trust me with my wilderness, you'll understand there's method to my madness. See what I mean?
You're a creative.
I'm a creative, but no, Dineo must always color within the lines. Guys, I can't color within the lines. I'm ADHD. Like it doesn't happen.
Would you say you have an issue with submission?
I don't have an issue with submission. I have an issue with submitting to things I don't understand.
Okay.
I have to understand. If I'm to submit to you as a man, I must understand you as a man. I must understand your spiritual heartbeat. I must understand your psychological pulse. I must understand your thinking capacity. I must understand your vision so I can help you hold it, and I can help you and support you to arrive at it and reach it. There's certain layers of understanding and comprehension that are required for submission to make sense. I cannot submit myself blindly because then I would be doing myself an injustice. So I cannot be led blindly. And when I require for me to be kept in the loop, then there's certain corporate loops and red tape that I'm not invited into. And it's like, but then you're making it complicated for me to operate.
Okay.
And then you want me to change myself, but I must be kept out of the loop. And then there's a whole lot of respect, disrespect. You know, the people have their own agendas. They have their preferences. They've got people that they prefer. They've got people that they don't prefer. The politics are wild. The politics are deep. Hence, I like to prefer to keep it to me. I know what I need to fix about myself. Should I get back into radio again? And that is a conversation between God and I,
Mm.
because it's very personal.
Mm.
It's shortcomings that are very personal.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Okay.
people don't know how to handle personal information, because you share on public platforms like this.
Mhm.
And then what happens on social media? People take everything you say, they turn it against you, they use it to just create their own narratives. And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting regretting doing an interview.
Sometimes social
Yeah.
media does take
Yeah.
certain things out of context.
Yeah.
We don't get a full wide spectrum of like the conversation.
Yeah, and I know it's cryptic what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cryptic, but I can't go further than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe let's just maybe give them a little bit of insight.
Yeah.
So let's say, okay, cool. Dineo was at Kai FM. She did a great job. There was a lot of scrutiny with your dynamic with Saul on Kai FM.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt you were overpowering him.
I will always overpower anyone that I am led to. I'm contracted to anchor.
Okay.
And this is what people don't understand.
Okay.
I am not a co-host on radio. I'm an anchor.
Okay.
Dineo is an
sense.
anchor.
That makes sense.
So when you're anchoring, you're the pilot. You lead. I'm not going to sit here and battle gender politics with people that are peanut brains that don't understand the contract itself. There is a co-host and there is an anchor.
That makes
If
sense.
you don't like the fact that, and Kaya is a boys' club, so nobody would ever wake up and like the fact that a person
female.
with a vagina is an anchor. They want a person with a penis to be an anchor. And I'm not going to be a trans anytime soon. I was born with a vag, I'm going to die with a vag, and I am born to lead. I'm an anchor. I've got talents, and the way I present myself with my talents is that I'm aggressive, I go robust. If I'm saying I'm learning how to DJ, trust me, I'm going to be number 2. If not number 1. I'm going all the way with it. So if I acquire a skill, I acquired the skill of radio. And radio liked me enough to say that this girl can anchor.
Facts.
So people have a problem with the fact that we want to hear Saul. But Saul is not, his contract does not say anchor. Do you understand Saul's contract? And you understand in a contract ka Saul. Ukuthi uqashelweni. Sengithuka mina. Hambani nothuka abantu abangiqashile.
They think it's a 50-50. They don't understand. Radio has...
nemjolo yenu i-wrong ngo-50-50. Yinto enimoshayo. Nihlezi nifuna yonke into ibe 50-50. Ayikho into eyi-50-50 emhlabeni. Akukho. There's a leader, there's a subordinate.
Facts.
Just know your place in society and be happy in your shoes. I was happy in my shoes. Yes, anchor.
I agree.
Yes.
And understanding, if people understand radio, they would know.
They would know, yeah.
They would know that there is someone that leads and there's someone as a co-host.
Yeah.
Okay, there was a lot of scrutiny behind that, and then they didn't understand what the situation was, which you
Yeah.
explained it now.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, you got fired from Kai FM.
Yes,
Right?
I got fired and I posted, Aike.
And then for people who are watching, I still don't know the reason why you were fired on Kai FM. What is the reason that you got
I
fired?
got fired from
Kai FM?
Kaya FM because Kaya then did not genuinely support mental health issues. They didn't. They didn't. And the agenda was, we want somebody else instead of Dineo, from the manager who took over after the lady who brought me in was fired. So the woman who brought me in, she was fired. After she was fired, I had a target on my back.
Damn.
And because of my issues, my health issues at the time, my health issues also compromised the station. So truly, they were not honest about their support of mental health issues. And also, the honest truth is, you cannot keep an entire radio station at ransom because you need time to heal and you need time to get better. That is a prime time slot. It's a breakfast slot. If you can't arrive for it and show up for it on time and consistently, Dineo, we cannot keep you. So twofold. They're running a business and they don't know what to do with people with mental health issues. As a corporate institute, honestly, they don't know. And I can only wish that after our incident and our relationship, they're in a position now to at least better support their staff and their employees where mental health is concerned. But the fact of the matter is that the bottom line is that Kai is running a business at the end of the day. They need to keep the lights on. They need a broadcaster who can show up. They need a broadcaster who they know will show up. And unfortunately, during that period, my mental health issues were compromising my consistency in showing up. So
I'm glad you have
yeah.
accountability in taking responsibility.
Yes,
Because a lot of
yes, you
people
have
will
to.
always blame the system
No. You have to hold yourself accountable. That's why I say there are conversations that I'm having with God, and only God can help me fix those things about myself. And only God can only God has shoulders wide enough to hear my cry and carry that cross with me. Because to heal a sick brain is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And the best way to heal a sick brain is to put a sick brain in understanding what is required of it, the responsibilities that it has in life. And now we need to start rewiring that brain to say, you need to be healthy for your responsibilities. And what are these responsibilities? Career, family, A, B, C, D, and E. Now we have to train and rewire the brain to be healthy, to show up healthily in those aspects. And that's a lot of work. It's a lot of spiritual work. It's a lot of psychological work. It's a lot of emotional work. I mean, it's a lot of work even my partner carries across. To be with a woman like me, I don't think it's easy for any man. And he carries across in helping me stay healthy and in helping me show up in the best way I can possibly show up for myself and for the family, you know? So you have to hold yourself accountable. That's the only way you're going to be healthy. You
I agree.
cannot isolate yourself from problems and say the problems are the problems and I'm not involved in them. The problems, you are not separate from the problems. You are a contributor to the problems. You're a contributor to the demise. Find out what it is, work on it, fix it.
And then when you do a self-diagnosis and say a sick brain, that's how you're putting it across. Why would you
Because it is
use
a sick brain.
that example to say you have a sick brain?
Because it is a sick brain.
Shout out to our main sponsor, Royal Flush, premium product. We've been doing amazing things with Royal Flush. Have you guys seen the new ad on TV? If you haven't,
Royal Flush Amber Gin. Step into the world of unparalleled luxury and sophistication. Handcrafted using only the finest French botanicals. Royal Flush, French luxury.
does Dineo have any desires of being married at all?
That man sitting over there is my future husband. Yeah.
Damn, we should just put a picture of it.
That man sitting over there.
Yeah.
I've experienced relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced men.
Mm-hmm.
I've walked away from many,
Mm-hmm.
including my first marriage. I walked away.
Mm-hmm. Why did you walk away from your first marriage?
Abuse. We can do a lot of things, but I don't understand why we must hit each other. And also that wild cheating men. You know, cheating is never a mistake. I believe it's never a mistake. But then there's that incident that might transpire between two people, and we can forgive it and move past it. But when you've made your life like into the vaginal Olympics, andate. No. Eh? Why?
Is that what we're calling cheating now? The
No.
Olympics?
There's cheating and then there's vaginal Olympics. Ew, you're na. You are.
What is the difference between those two?
You know, there's this one that happens and you can see, Hore, but love, what's this? What's going on here? Let's talk about this. You know, maybe we need to break up, but before we break up, let's talk about it, you know. Is it a you thing? And if it's a you thing, because I love you, how can I help? That's the kind of person I am. I'm a personal development person. Even in my relationships, like I'm a life coach before I'm anything. It's actually very boring. I think I would hate dating a person like me. I would not. I would hate dating a person like me because sometimes you just want to relax and have fun, you know, and just eat a burger without your personal trainer reminding you that actually you're gaining calories, you know. So put that burger down. I'm that kind of girlfriend. I'm always like holding us accountable for something together, you know. Like,
yeah, my nigga can't even eat a burger in peace.
no, guy can't even eat a burger in peace, bruh. Like I'm always holding us accountable for something together, you know, like we need to be doing better together, you know, that sort of vibe. So there's that kind of cheating where we can table it and we can talk about it and we can say, okay, cool, we're going to do better, right? And I'm going to trust you to do better. Okay, cool. Then there's this one, when you open, it's like you've just opened a cupboard and all the roaches come out.
Damn.
That one, you leave the property, my bra. You don't call for people, the pesticides people, to come and deal with the roaches. You leave the property. You see that one where the snakes are in the roof and they're falling through the ceiling. You leave the property. What are we fixing there? Why are we buying a new ceiling? What are we talking about there? That's that vaginal Olympics thing. That's like,
Why do
this
you
is
think
beyond. This is not healthy. This is addiction. This is dark. And I'm not attacking anyone's character. I'm just speaking of what I was exposed to. Those are not things you stay for in a marriage. Those are not things you submit to. Those are very ungodly things. And where there is no God, I say, where there is no God, let no woman submit. Where there is no God, let no woman submit. You submit only to a man who has submit himself to God. You submit yourself to a man who can come back to his godly ways, not a man who's lost far, far deep and is pretending to be godly. That's a fabrication of truth. That's somebody who's going to lead you to the highest level of darkness. So I had to say no. I had to call it quits.
Damn.
I had to call it quits. I can't submit to sexual devil worship. Yeah.
So it was because of the cheating, basically.
No, but I got mood also, man. You didn't hear the part where I said I got mood. We're just sitting on the cheating now. I got mood, and I just didn't like the way he cheated. He cheated in an unforgivable way. There's a lot of things we can forgive each other for in a relationship. But now we're ungayenzi kakhulu. Wabo? It's like I can, in a moment of conflict, say, oh man, you effing ba 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 ba. But if I bring your mama into that, that's ground for divorce. Because why? Why get rohamma? Why get rohabatori? But when it comes to character assassination and conflict resolution, those are issues that I've got a problem with. But that was, he went over and above, he went over and beyond. It was like a lifestyle thing. And I could not have a marriage where the leader of the household, and I'm very traditional in relationshiping, hey? I don't do 50-50. I'm a feminist, I'm a somandla, womandla. Hitting dinto za thing in Bogoto. No, I don't do those things. I'm a woman. I like my place as a woman. I love it. I flourish there. I love my man to be a man. And I love for him to flourish as a man and take the lead, you know? I love being a helpmate. These are the things I love. I don't like taking on more than I can chew in a relationship, and trying to be a man in the relationship is taking on more than I can chew. I can only do what my feminine energy allows me to do, and I want to shine there because that's my purpose in your life.
So you actually, like what I'm getting from what we're saying now, you actually also don't believe in feminism?
I don't believe in feminism, and I know that society thinks Dineo is a feminist. I reprimand badly behaved men because you have to, as a man, hold yourself to the highest level of taking your life seriously. Sikaphe nina guys la emhlabeni. Ningama firstborn la emhlabeni. Ningama firstborn emhlabeni. Le party ingani. Tina singo mem o Miss Party. Yabo? So it's important for a man to get his shit together. Just get your bearings together as a man, because the role of leadership is so critical, so crucial, that when you unravel, society unravels. And not a lot of men take that seriously. So maybe the manner in which I've spread the gospel, people thought I was a feminist, but nah, I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to feminist beliefs. No, I'm a traditional. Like traditional. Ke kopa ntata lapa e be ntata lapa, nna ke be mme wa lelapa, and o kopa ska ntshwenya ka dilo tsa ka tsa bomme, ke ska o tshwenya ka dilo tsa hao tsa bontate. Like, yes.
Wow.
Truly, truly, truly.
I spoke to someone before this. Before we actually had this interview, they believed you were actually a feminist.
I'm not a feminist.
Do you believe it's destructive? or do you believe it's um,
I believe
empowering to females?
I don't believe anything about feminism.
Mm.
I don't have an opinion on it.
Mm.
I honestly don't.
Mm.
I don't. I can't allow myself to have an opinion on feminism because it's going to disturb the view I hold of myself and my role as a woman in society.
Mm.
And I don't want to have arguments that are not. The argument around feminism for me, it's like arguing with people that have an opinion against me, but don't have positive feedback to give me so I can improve.
Mm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't engage in such subject matters. For me, I don't have an opinion on feminism. I refuse to have an opinion on feminism.
Hmm.
I don't know what it's about. Nobody has been able to explain to me.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people say they're feminists, and then when I listen to the things that they are pushing and the narratives that they're pushing under the umbrella of feminism, it seems like now different from the main agenda, you know? So, no. I would like to see a society where men hold themselves accountable for the way they lead and women hold themselves accountable for the way they support.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you believe somehow we lost the gender roles in society on how we're supposed to operate?
And we were going to. We had to lose them. We had to lose them because the emancipation of women economically comes with a blurring of the lines in gender roles. Remember, gender roles, okay, so God, this is my belief system, right? This is how I understand things. I love the way that man mans. My man.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way he mans.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way he mans because he mans in a way that makes me woman even better.
Mm.
And this is what happens when we know our roles in life, you know? God created man, right? Man then creates culture.
Mm.
Culture serves whose agenda? Culture does not serve God's agenda. Culture serves man's agenda. So misogyny, patriotism, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. A woman's place is in the kitchen, all of those things, and dun. Now then we come to a point where we are now emancipating the people of the kitchen and inviting them into the offices and the spaces where the bacon is made, where the bacon is found, where the hunting for the bag is done, right? Once you encounter economic growth, and I'm not talking about encountering money, I'm talking about encountering economic growth. When you
What's the
encounter,
difference between those two?
the difference for me is a mindset thing, right? When you encounter money, you're encountering stuff that you can spend. Yes, it's this energy, But when you encounter economic growth, it comes with an attitude shift towards money, an attitude and a mental shift towards now your relationship with money and what money must do for you. So even if you lose it all again, because you've encountered economic emancipation, you know exactly what to do to get it all back again. And I speak of the economy because your money, if you encounter money, you are still in isolation. So when you encounter economical emancipation, you know that you have now encountered being a part of the money system. Not just Chansky Tutsi Lot, but now you're part of the money system because you're working and operating to maintain and keep the money. So when you encounter economic emancipation as a woman, as a group and a collective of women, you guys weren't working before. You were expected to just raise the children. You were expected to not have an opinion with business affairs, corporate affairs, this, that, and the other, A, B, C, D, and E. What does a woman know? What does a woman know? Hush, it's a man's meeting. It's a man's world. Now women enter the space. Women now enter the chats. Economic emancipation changes your muscle memory as a person, meaning it changes how you view yourself. Your shoulders become a little bit broader. Uyakwazi ukuziphendulela uyadelela ke manje. And it's a fact, imali iyadelelisana. That's why mawunayo kumele uzikhuze wena. Kumele uzikhuze and remember the person that you are so you don't stray too far. Now when women start experiencing this thing that men have been experiencing for many years, it's nice most to be financially independent. It's nice most to walk into buildings and be respected. Hey, it's nice most to be the boss. I thought I've been having it nice. You know what that does to the culture that men created? We went from here. Tell me what shift this is. Men were here, women were here, seen by men and placed here by men. Ne? Then women fight. They can't ignore the fight anymore. Then women break through. Then women start slowly doing this, doing that, equalize. When a woman is now your equal as a man, do you feel strong as a man?
Personally or overall?
Generally, do men feel strong as men?
No.
When
men
women
would, no, men would,
equalize,
no.
economically and otherwise.
no.
Intellectually, I'm at your level, better. Financially, at your level, better. Sexually, at your level, better. You're learning new styles from me. You're learning new things from me. Everything is just 2.0. And I mean it, because we need to layer a human being for the human experience. Psychologically, spiritually, financially, sexually, socially, and otherwise. Unpack the human being. When the female equalizes with the man gets scared. What does that do to gender roles that were created by? And not biblical gender roles, cultural gender roles. Because there's peace in biblical gender roles, but there's war in gender roles that were created by man. Gender roles that were created by God, if you follow those, there's peace there. There's peace. If you relationship according to the Bible, there's so much peace. A relationship according to culture,
It's a mess.
it's a mess. And then bring the woman up, emancipate her. There's a big mess where gender roles are concerned. Because of what? Economics. We've put money too much at the forefront of the simplicity of relationshiping. Money is at the forefront of everything now.
Facts.
We want to equalize financially. And ngizokdelela because I make more than you. I'm not going to respect you because I work too. You know? And because I'm unemployed as your woman, right? And you're the one who's paying the bills A, B, C, D, and E. You're going to expect for me to slave around the house. Because I'm not working, I must never be tired. The dishes must be clean. I must never have an off day. The food must be cooked. So there are expectations that money brings into the picture. And the conversation of money becomes a spiritual one between two people. Because what you are doing within your physical self, the conversation you are having between your physical selves, there's a bigger one that is happening that you are not even aware of. And that is when you are inflated. When you're inflated, your energy speaks volumes. And when your energy speaks, trust your spirit is beating and speaking. That's the frequency. So maybe I'm mad, but I don't think so. All these things make sense to me in my head. And when I unpack them, that's where gender roles got lost. It's not the rise of feminism and. Yeah, well, I mean, feminism contributed. But the emancipation of women economically irritated misogyny and patriotism that were created by men themselves.
And the emasculation of men.
And the emasculation of men. And men emasculated themselves.
Why you say that?
Men emasculated themselves by not looking at women and saying, fine, they are growing. What do we men do? We excel by far beyond them. Not in competition, but because you must maintain a certain level of moving ahead. Men collectively, you did not reinvent yourselves. Instead, what did you do? You emasculated yourself by mentally competing with women, emotionally competing with women. And now everywhere you go on social media, it's just men arguing with women about stupid stuff. Things men have no business talking about on social media. Because you should be busy focusing on serious things in life. Now you are here arguing with women about the peanut butter hairlines of the frontal.
No, let's actually have...
Nishakanani lapho? Awusebenzi yini? Ufunani lapho?
Wait, no. Let's actually have let's make a direct example of situations where men are arguing with women and you feel they have no place in arguing with women about. Let's have a real conversation about that.
Please.
What do you think men are arguing with women about that they have no place in arguing with women about?
Why are you arguing with me about the peanut butter glue on my hairline, on my wig? Why? Do you see?
Okay.
You have trivialized yourself.
That one is
and I mean it because these are the things. This is how seriously I take it. You have no business arguing about the bill. As a man, you're on social media with your whole handle. All of us know who you are. You've got no pride. You're arguing about the bill and splitting things 50-50 with a woman. In today's day and age, you know how serious it is being a man. You're ridiculing and reducing and minimizing your capacity as a man. To i-restaurant bill 50-50 nibhizi niya-complaina, niya-arguishana, mina ngeke, ya la mantombazane ayahlanya, la bafazi bayahlanya. Guys, you are a man. Do you understand what it is to be a man? Don't let us teach you. I understand what
Funny
it is
enough,
to be a woman.
I saw someone was explaining. I was watching some.
Nyangikhathaza mina,
Hold on. Someone was explaining something that it's funny that these days, why are men be taught? Men are told how to be real men by women.
Today, I was having a conversation with the father of my son
Okay.
to say, sir, I have carried the baton in this relay race. He's turned 15. It's your turn now. I can't teach him how to be a man. Because I, as a woman, if I teach him how to be a man, ngizomthethisa, and therefore I'm teaching him how to be a rebel. You, my sir, there are qualities about you that I know. You are a critical thinker, you are a disciplined man, and you know how to regulate your emotions. These are qualities that I think our son needs. And he can only learn them by emulating you, by watching you exist as a man. I've given him the foundation. It's time for me to hand him over. Because a man must take his silence, guys. Men are too loud now. Men need to think. Men hold the vision.
Why? I also want you to explain, elaborate. What do you mean men are too loud?
Men are too loud now. Men are not biblical now.
How are they too loud?
They are too loud. They are participating in vocalizing things that they have not thought of in society.
Okay, let me try. I want to understand exactly what you're saying.
Okay.
So let's track back. Men are too loud
Men are too
by
loud.
having an opinion on social media.
I'm not saying men are too loud by having an opinion on social media.
How are men too loud?
Men are reactionary. Men's emotions right now, the emotional pulse of men across the board in society is dysregulated. When I say men are too loud, it means that anything can trigger you. Nikwata ngokushesha, we see you on social media. It's easy to trigger a man by just attacking him on social media, and he will lose it.
Okay.
And he will lose it. And a man must regulate those emotions, guys, because there's power in that. There's power in that.
Okay.
A man must take his silence because there's wisdom in that.
Okay.
A man must be thinking, critically thinking.
Okay. So let me. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have this discussion.
Yeah,
Let's have this discussion. Okay. We're looking back into 2 years back. No, actually even longer, like 4 years back. The narrative that was on social media is men are trash, right?
Yes.
So I'm thinking back
And
to
this
that.
was because of GBV, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Men are trash. Men took that. I saw men holding each other accountable, saying, yeah, but we are trash because of A, B, C, D. And other men were like, what? Whatever. Then it became a situation where social media became a space where women were voicing their frustrations with men. Women were voicing how they feel men are navigating through relationships, through just life in general, right? And then recently, I've seen men actually become vocal and also responding to women. And it's become a gender war on social media.
This is why I'm saying men are too loud on social media. Why is there a gender war? Why are men responding?
So should men just keep quiet when women are vocalizing how they feel?
So I'm not saying men must keep quiet. Men must think, and men must find a place that is constructive to pour out their opinions.
Okay.
And men should have more to do and less to say. Right? I would love to see a world where collectively we are seeing not men talking about a behavior change, but an actual behavior change.
Okay.
right? So we have from social matters, critical social matters, and I'll talk about relationshiping as an example, as a prime example, because it's the hot topic right now. When men and women don't know how to relate romantically, we are stuck, right? And you're fortunate if you're in a healthy relationship. You are so blessed. It's like you've won the lottery. That's how we're struggling for it, right? When a man takes his silence and goes into his spiritual cave and has critical conversations with his maker, a man will realize that even social media truly is not his place.
Are you
If it
saying
is not
social media is not a
social,
man's place?
no. I'm not saying social media is not a man's place. If it's not for his career, or if it's not contributing and adding to his dots that are dotted and T's that are crossed, if it's not contributing to anything greater than, it's not a place where a man should and can play. Because, and this is why I want to say men are not manning biblically.
Okay.
If a man were to man biblically in this day and age, you would understand that the more still you are as a man, the less trouble you're in as a man. And the mission is not to stay out of trouble because you are weak, but the mission is to stay out of trouble as a man because you have much to protect.
Okay.
Right now, men are not protecting the things that they need to protect. Men are out and about clubbing at weird hours of the night, and I'm talking married men, right? Crimes happen at those hours of the night. Crimes happen. By a roofer at 3 o'clock in the morning in this country. Your wife is alone at home, you're popping bottles there at Gonka. Because you're living outside of yourself, you're not living within yourself. Men are too external nowadays. Men need to come back to the value of internalizing. You know, when society says men don't talk, I disagree with that. Men do speak. Men do talk. I've witnessed it. Men do talk about their problems.
I don't think so.
Men do talk. Men do talk. You don't think so? I'm interested in this because you say you're a man and you're a man.
Yeah.
You say you don't think so. Why? Do you believe this because generally men don't talk and you've experienced physically firsthand, even with your brotherhoods, that you guys are not talking to each other, or it's a social narrative that we've come to believe?
I believe men don't vocalize whatever they go through. Cause even like now, how you explain the situation of like men are too loud, it seems like as a man, you shouldn't be expressing your pain or because you're too vulnerable right now as a man. So most men would rather keep it inside, whatever they go through.
So you are designed differently from me, no?
Who?
Our wiring
Okay.
in terms of genetics.
I'm speaking about men in general.
Yeah, I'm speaking about men in general as
Yeah.
well and women in general. So we
Okay.
are designed differently.
Yes.
I don't have all the answers. I'm not an expert.
None of us are.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is my observation on human behavior and my
Okay.
recommendations.
Okay.
This is what I recommend on human behavior. All of us should be doing this, but it's better if a man does it. Take your silence, talk to God about your issues, talk to God about your problems. Okay? And do the inner work. Hold yourself accountable, right? For your shortcomings. And listen when you are told by people that love you that ulahla saite. Right? I've experienced so many men talk in safe spaces about their challenges and I think society expects men to talk like women. It'll never happen. It won't happen. And social media is not the place for you to express your innermost wirings emotionally. Guys, it's not. It's
For
not.
men specifically, is that what you're saying?
It's more dangerous for men. It's
Okay.
it's not healthy for all of us, but it's more dangerous for men. It's more dangerous for men because you are putting yourself in a position to have distractions. A man needs to minimize distractions. Your calling, the calling on your life, and it's unfortunate. There's nothing you could have done because you didn't choose to be born that gender. But that chance, the way God designed it, there's a heavier cross to be carried by a man in life. and there's a cross to be carried by a woman in life.
Mm-hmm.
If you read and understand the book of Genesis, it is written, the punishment, the pains that we are feeling now as men and women, those pains are written in the Bible.
Mm.
God says, for the thing that you have done, when I Eve, here's your punishment. When I Adam, here's your punishment. But for all your issues and all your problems, cast them to me, your creator. I know your wiring. I will bring you. I will cross you over. But what do? Right now, we unravel on social media. You'll have a man unraveling on social media about intricate details about his personal life, his divorce, and this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. On social media, why? Charlie, why? I'm not saying don't express yourself, but I'm saying be careful where you express yourself. Choose wisely where you express yourself. And because we have less godly men in society right now, men struggle even with discerning for themselves the right platform in which to vocalize, in which to speak. You think social media is your friend for your feelings? It's not.
So why?
It's not.
Okay, how does that work for women and it does not work for men?
Women have a different resilience emotionally.
Okay.
Women are wired differently emotionally. We can take it emotionally. And also we give it emotionally. We are the better gossiper.
Okay. Gossiper. Okay, I get
We are the better gossiper. This wiring is for us. I mean, it entertains us. It's just, even if you were to try and not do it as a woman, the minute you are with other women, you can't help it. You are going to woman. You are going to woman, you know? And the makings of social media are that they excite a woman where a woman is designed to get excited. And you fall into the trap. You fall into the trap and you think that place is your friend. It is not your friend. And even be careful as a man where you express your opinions. Be careful.
It seems like we are living in a generation where men can't do anything.
No, you can do a lot.
They can't.
No, you can do a lot. The reason
I
why
see-
it feels like you can't do anything is because you are not doing things in a biblical manner. If men were to go back to doing things in a biblical manner and not so much a cultural manner, you will realize the disservice and the injustice you've done for yourself as a man. Now, if you were to go deep into your relationship with God and the Bible, you'll realize, and the opening, like the veil lifting that will happen to you, you'll realize, I have shortchanged myself as the outie, guys.
I feel you. So do you feel women are doing things in a biblical manner?
I don't think so. We're not biblical.
So men are biblical, but women are not.
No. I'm not saying men. What are you
So
asking me?
why
Did I
should
just
we?
get confused
So,
by
so
Tito?
why should we expect that of men, but we don't expect the same from women?
And this is the very immature mindset that I want men to divorce themselves of. Stop comparing yourself to women.
No, they're not. It's
Stop
just-
saying, no,
yeah,
but this
yeah.
is what men are doing in society right
Okay.
now. But women are you've just done it. But
No, it's not. I'm just saying, if we're holding men
Yeah.
to a certain standard of doing things in a biblical manner,
yeah.
right? Do we expect the same from
Yes,
women?
yes. Yeah,
It's a
no,
question.
definitely. No, definitely. No, definitely.
So you express yourself in saying men are not doing things in a biblical manner. So
Men are not leading biblically.
are not leading
Yeah,
biblically.
they're not.
Okay. So,
Majority of men. Let me not say all men.
okay.
Yeah, majority.
That's
of
why
men.
I asked you, do you feel women are operating from a biblical manner?
No. And there's no way we can, because we are here. I don't want to say things that this new age society is going to misunderstand. But my words are meant for ears attached to an aged spirit, an old soul. And my words are meant for people that have the time to sit and unpack truly what Dineo was trying to say. I may struggle with articulation, but hear
You
me.
don't struggle with articulation.
Really?
You're good with articulation. So why I'm asking these questions is like, so we have full clarity.
And I like these questions because
Yeah.
they're challenging me now in this. I'm in the hot seat. There's a sweat bead.
Okay.
So let me unpack it to you the way maybe I would unpack it to a child,
Treat me like a 5-year-old.
a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
right? So one thing men seem to miss, which is the natural wiring of a woman. We seek to please you, right?
Okay.
So the lower you drop the bar, the lower our behavior is going to go as well, right? The higher you raise the bar, the higher our behavior and standard is going to go up as well. Because women want to be caught by a man, right? Courted by a man, valued by a man, appreciated by a man, done the honorable thing and be made a wife by a man. Not all women have this picture painted in their minds, but most of us are raised for this to be the aspiration. And also biblically, we are advised to seek each other out, marry, and start families, build our lives, and so forth, right? So we are made for each other in this regard. Procreation and support through life, A, B, C, D, and E, and the layerings. So what men discount is that when you start undermining your value, the generic community value goes down because you're the bar. All women have done in the past couple of years is compete to measure up to men. Y'all don't see that you're the bar. Y'all don't see that you're the bar. I'm just asking. Yeah. Because the struggle of emancipation of women has been to reach that ceiling that men are at and maybe surpass it. So this entire struggle has been to measure up to the bar of men. So you're the bar, right? But you drop your own bar. You drop your own standards by the way you live, by the way you don't honor your wives when you do get married. And I always bring it down to marriage, because if you can't even honor your wife, how will you honor a business contract? How are you going to honor the finances of the family if you can't even honor loyalty to your wife? You neglect the important people, the vulnerable people in life. You neglect the important responsibilities. And you practice that. You don't meet me as a girlfriend. You meet me as a wife. I don't meet you as a boyfriend. I meet you as a husband. We don't become husband and wife when we say I do. Already I am the making of a wife. Already you are the making of a husband. That is why you know to seek a wife, because you are the making of a husband. So when we are constantly trying to measure up to this bar and surpass it, if this bar doesn't go any higher and we surpass it, but this bar goes lower, what's going to happen to the pool of men in society? When you look at society right now, where men are concerned, generally South African society, and we look at the majority lifestyle that's being lived, can you say men are honorable?
It depends what you speaking
No,
about.
just lifestyle, the way we know the norm of how people are living, general lifestyle, the cultures that are being pushed forward right now that are getting majority attention. Groove culture has created addicts of men and now addicts of women. So we go where you go. The bums will always follow where the guys go. The women, and this is my conversation. These are my chats with men. Do you not see what God has intended of you? Do you not see the sex you chase so much? These bums you chase so much? This effervescent lifestyle you chase so much? This Gucci you chase so much? These things that are pulling you away from the true responsibility and the simple responsibility of providing and protecting. Now you're arguing the responsibility that God gave you. You're ridiculing God's plan on your life, his anointing on your life to 50-50 chats on social media. A man must take his silence. A man must know to take his silence. A man must be like a good dancer, know when to leave the stage, because the responsibility of leadership, and it's a kind of leadership, nobody trains you for it. You are just born into it. It's expected out of you. Unfair if you ask me, but what an honor. What an honor to die having to stand in the line of fire for my vulnerable ones. I'm the one God chose to provide and to protect for this lineage. And you want to waste that on disloyalty, on 50-50 chats, on not holding yourself accountable, on not regulating yourself and your emotions, on beating women up, on failing at marriage, on failing at leadership, and then blaming a woman for it.
I think women struggle with a lot of accountability too.
Women. Yeah, women do struggle with accountability. That much I can tell you for free. A woman doesn't want to be told that she's wrong. A woman doesn't want to be told that it's her turn to apologize and be brought to task for apologizing, because we are brought up with this princess mindset. We are perfect. We are princesses. We could do nothing wrong. We are daddy's girls.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for you, if you've never experienced being a daddy's girl because your dad wasn't around,
Mm-hmm.
but most of us are raised like that. You know, we could never do anything wrong, which is unfair, which is wrong. And that is why I disagree with the concept of a happy wife, a happy life. I disagree with that. You cannot say just because this one person is getting everything that they want, now the family must be happy and know peace. No, we need to be all happy at the table. We need to all bring our best selves to the table, and we need to all serve each other at the table, you know? But relationships are struggling because men are struggling.
So are you saying everything that's because we are having
I
these
had
issues
this argument with my
based on
partner.
men?
I had this argument with my partner. Biblically, yes. Go back and read your Bible. You will know that the issues that we are having right now, you fix yourselves, all of it is gone.
So you are saying if men fix themselves, we are not going to have these gender wars.
99% of your problems will go away. And the fact that you are arguing it in this moment in time means that you're not ready to take that information and hold yourself accountable for it. Lesele le stoutu. Banna lesele le stoutu. War e ka banna. Crimes tse ngata di ka banna. Bona ho ka banna. Ke pati ya lona e ene le sentse ga mors ra le thusa ho ilukisa ra pallwa. La senya lona le bo masenya. Ene ra le rata. A se gore ke a le kgalemela ene ke batla gore modimo a lenke a le tshise go sa le rona fela. Ke a le rapedisa gore e kreyeng rege guys, take life seriously. Being a man is not a joke, yo. You can't take it as a joke. You can't. You've got generations on your shoulders. You can't take that thing as a joke. You can't be here for bums in life when there's so many other things to do. And it's always that one thing that distracts many men. And I'm going to come back to it because ya le hlola. La irata ya le hlola ene yona ha ile rata. Ile senyetsa ntho tse ngata. Have it a little, the divorce came out of nowhere. Women know so many things about you and we make nkare di tlaela. And it's not to say I'm saying women are perfect. The conversation for women and correcting of women will happen. But we need to get men right because the firstborn, you're at the forefront.
But
No, you're born to lead, guys.
You can't just say
No,
like,
but
you
I
need to
can.
fix
It's
work.
in the Bible. It's not me, guys. It's in the Bible. I'm not saying these things. And that's why I don't mind getting attacked for these things because it's not me fabricating these things. Read your Bibles. All you have to do is just read the goddamn Bible. You realize that Dineo actually, this is not Dineo's story. It's not Dineo's fabrication. It's not me. Don't argue with me. Go argue with God. It's in the Bible.
Okay.
It's truly in the Bible. All you have to do is read your Bibles. Just read your Bibles.
Let's move.
When we correct men, we have corrected a lot of problems in society. Not all of them. A lot of them, because then we must now deal with the second one. Uhlupheka abi wena. Swara nalo, sesim right lo. Wena uhlupheka abi. Uhlupheka abi wena. With the spirit of Jezebel was Aziz. Sikuthola right. Hi mara Nina. Nina. The first created from your rib me. Then you want to sit and make like you're not the problem. Just read your Bible.
I don't agree.
And we're not aiming for perfection.
Yes, I don't agree with men just being the only problem in this situation. I feel we both play a role in this. I don't
This
want
is
to
true.
sit here and point out everything that's wrong with women.
This is true.
I want you to come and express how you feel.
Tito?
That's why this is a podcast where
Yes.
we, like when we have the guests, we want them to be able to express themselves. I'm not here to argue with you and your points. I want you to express yourself fully,
100%.
exactly how you feel.
And I also want to hear you and how you feel, honestly speaking, because I am so interested in a conversation about where we are today as society, where men and women are concerned. I believe in finding solutions. So the problem is easy. We are both a problem. But when it
I agree.
comes to finding the solution must have a starting point. I would prefer, as a recommendation for my recommendation, to start with men.
Why?
Because of what God has put in you. Because of what God has put
From
in
a
you.
leadership point of view or perspective?
Yes, from a design perspective and a purpose perspective. Because of what God has put in you and the magnitude of that purpose, You see?
Mhm.
I would like us to start there and then follow through with the rest. So we deal with the man in order of hierarchy, provider, protector, we deal with the head, right? Then we can come and deal with the torso. Then we can deal with the little hands and feet, the children and the this and the that. But I'd like us to clinically deal with it from a hierarchy perspective, because if it's soiled at the top, it's going to soil everywhere else. You go into any business, any corporate structure, any company will tell you leadership needs to stay clean. And structures there at the top need to be all right. This country is in a mess. Why? Because the ANC screwed us over. Leadership screwed us over. So when we go back and we say we need to remedy, where do we remedy? We remedy from the top and then we work our way to the bottom. Leya nhloko leya engathi ayizwa leya. Mele siqale ngayo, siyilungise, and then the rest will follow. So those are my recommendations. And I don't know how, but I think it works better as an individual exercise. So yourself and myself in our individual capacities, we must, as we act and as we live, we must hold ourselves accountable in every breath we take. Be mindful of how you are with your woman. Be mindful of how you are with your children. Be mindful of how you are outside of your woman when you are interacting with society. Be mindful of how you represent your relationship with your person. You're an ambassador for your family. Be mindful. Don't do things that would bring shame to your family and embarrass your partner and embarrass you at the end of the day and cost you all these things that you have worked towards because you couldn't keep it in your pants. Because most of the time the unraveling start there. And don't neglect your partner emotionally. Try not neglect your partner spiritually. Lead in that regard as well. Be a man who knows God and who knows how to pray over his family. Be a man who knows how to pray over his wife. Be a man who knows how to lead your children and your wife into a healthy spiritual zone. Those are elements of provision, not just making a bag, not just buying the Gucci. Those are character trait things. Those are character. It's the character and the design of a man.
Okay,
Let's take it.
Let's take it there then. He's talking about like the man buying the Gucci and everything, because now we are in a space right now where a man feels his value is only appreciated when he's able to buy the Gucci bag, the Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah.
Because now
Yeah.
men who have integrity, men who are guys that carry themselves with like, that's why like they say good guys finish last for a reason. Good guys are not attractive to women. Women doesn't look at a good guy like, oh, this is a guy I want to be with. Women look at guys that can pay their bills, buy them bags, be able to take them on a trip as someone that is desirable.
Is this truly a godly woman? So we now have to question a woman who prioritizes only that about a man.
This is not
truly
every woman,
Yeah,
obviously.
this is not every woman.
But we are right now we've been generalizing.
That's why
throughout.
I'm generalizing, also posing
Yeah.
a question against this woman that we are describing.
Yeah.
If we are both to take this woman and her description, she wants the holidays, she wants the Gucci bags, she wants this, she wants that. This is what she expects from her man. Can we really truly say then the values of this woman are truly godly values? Then we have to have that discussion and question that.
Yeah.
Because a truly godly woman will seek a different kind of provision from a man, a different kind of security from a man. She will demand and command a different sort of bringing to the table, bringing forth to the table from a man. It will not just be a Gucci and a trip and a this and a that. And it's unfortunate that we have a lot of that. And
that's a culture right
it's
now.
a culture right now, but you are to blame for that culture. Because
Why?
you did not lead with your emotions, you led with your pocket. So men put
But
out
this
a
is not
sales
every
pitch.
man.
It's not every man, it's
Yes.
general, yeah.
Yes.
And majority leads right now.
Yeah.
Because that's the dominating culture that we see.
But it can't just be men at fault.
But
in
you're
terms-
selling yourselves like that. I'm not saying you're at
Yeah.
fault for that, but maybe correct that about yourselves. Don't sell.
So are you saying men
Don't sell
should-
financial provision to a woman. Let me put it this way.
Okay.
Oh no, please ask me.
No, I like that. No, yeah.
Don't sell financial provision to a woman rather than sell emotional and spiritual provision to a woman. So expose who you are spiritually, expose who you are emotionally, create that safe environment, because those are the foundations and the fundamentals that you need to start building together in a relationship, whatever future you're trying to build together. Before the money comes, the trust is built, right?
I agree 100% with
Yeah.
you, but it doesn't seem that's the appeal right now.
It can't be, because even if you look at our role models, right? A lot of our role models, I'm going to say, who can I use? Who's a Gucci guy right now?
I don't want to put no names.
I also don't want to put no names, but think of, okay, right now, any name that comes to mind that you can pin in your mind
Guys,
as
mention names.
Mr. or Mrs. Gucci right now. So find Mr. Gucci. Mang?
He's in jail. Come on.
Who?
No, he said Hush Puppy. He's in jail right now.
Is he in jail?
Yeah.
I don't know. That one even, in jail, he's got many problems, that one. He's got many problems, so we'll
Yeah.
leave him out of this one.
Because, like, look, like, I totally get some of the points you're bringing up. But, like, if I had to speak also from a man's point of view,
Yeah, please do
a lot
teach
of
me.
men have a lot of frustrations with women.
Yes, you do.
Because men see a lot of women are with men they wouldn't ever be, because I think society's changed where it was 10 years back
Yeah.
to where it is right now.
Yeah.
Before, you, like, from seeing the type of woman you are, you'd want to be with a guy that's like you guys have certain things in common.
Yeah.
You guys look at life
You
the
want to be
same.
yoked. Yeah.
Yes. But right now, most women right now, I didn't say all women, just to
Yeah.
put it out there, they want to be with a guy that can make them look good on social media in terms of, like, pay their bills,
Yeah.
have a Gucci bag,
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton bag, go on trips.
Yeah.
And they don't care if he's getting that money through crime, through whatever he does, as long as she's able to look good on social media. Most women, I was talking about this now. Like, we are living in a society where we had this conversation. I was saying 98%, okay, 99% of pretty woman friends that I have in my life are not happy.
Yes. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and she was saying she's tired of, having to spend her own money, A, B, C, D, and E, blah, 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 blah. And I said to her, you might want to start not looking in the direction of the pocket and the bank account. You might want to start having conversations with God about the kind of prayer you are praying, and pray to God that He corrects your words and what you're looking for. His money is His money, it's not your money, right? Let's understand biblical provision before we understand societal provision. Society says a man must provide, a man must provide, a man must provide. That's great. Yes, let a man provide. That's okay, I look after myself very well. But it's beautiful every now and again when my partner says, today, my nails and my gas tank is by my man. But I do those things for myself. It's not an obligation.
And men love actually doing that.
You see what I mean? And it's not an obligation. And it's nice every now and again when, your man can surprise you and say, no, I'll handle that, A, B, C, D, and E. So finances, before we even get to the financial conversation, can we have a spiritual conversation with each other? That's why I say, I don't make these things up. Read your Bible, you will know your place in society, and you will know peace. You will know true peace. So when you seek financial provision before you have even done the spiritual investment, you are moving wrongly. And this is where we shortchange ourselves.
100%.
So we now arrive in relationships and then we want to do things that are the rewards of a hard work and a beautiful investment well made. And the things that we invest are being yoked, right? When the Bible talks about us being yoked, it means our value systems, are we aligned in that regard? Do we honor and serve the same God? Do we believe, do we share the same belief system? Because this is our foundation that we're building. And if we are not yoked and aligned here at the bottom, nothing is going to be sustainable there at the top. So the problem and the mistake that we are making right now is that we've got a lot of women saying, I am anti-Bob the Builder. I will be a Bob the Builder in every relationship until I die because the Bible tells me so. I'm instructed by the Bible to be a helpmate. And it brings me to freaking goddamn tears that God would choose that for me as my life. That God decided that I am not worth more than to help Him. It hurts me. because I want to be more. But because I am submitted to my Creator. And submission to God is the most painful mission you can be on. Because it says it's not about you. It's about the next person. I want to be more. I want to do more. But the Bible says, help him. He needs your help. And in order for me to help him, there are so many things I need to regulate about myself. There's a life that I need to kill within me to resurrect one within him. You cannot claim the gifts of the covenant or the fruits of the covenant without the labor of self-sacrifice. Read your Bibles. I am not making this stuff up. My recommendation is, let's get men right, and then let's start talking to Jezebel. Get the leader's mindset right. Get this person in a space where nothing can shake him, nothing can break him, nothing can distract him. Let him be rooted in his purpose. And then let's speak to the helpmate. Careful how you help and how you assist, because you are influential. And once you submit, and this is the painful thing about submission, and this is why society will fight against submission. But once you submit, and we all have to submit, once you submit, you will know peace, because you will operate in your purpose, and I'm operating in my purpose, and I'm moving in spirit and in truth with you. I've got no room for disloyalty. I've got no room for dysregulation. God does not allow for that. Only when you relationship, if you force yourself to do it under the principles and governance of loyalty, which is what God demands of all of us, you will know peace. And loyalty does not look like not cheating. Loyalty means keeping yourself available for your person and their seasons. And that is the skills of building. So you will have to be a Bob the Builder. You will have to be. You will not buy his love by building him up financially. You will win his favor by being a helpmate that is worthy of being trusted with the fruit of the covenant. It's a work. It's spiritual, it's magical, it's beautiful. But we do ourselves an injustice because we bring ungodliness into relationships. We focus just on the money. When we fast, we don't fast for the fine car and the big house. We fast for God to make us into the character that can keep it when it comes. Because it's hard to get and it's easy to lose. So when my role is to be a helpmate, okukuningi ukukubheka and understand you and examine you, learn you, walk with you, sometimes behind you, and sometimes quietly. But because I'm assuming my role, it does not mean you must treat me like a fool. And this is the mistake many men make. And that's why I say our mothers are tired of our fathers. Because for many years, our fathers have neglected emotional provision for our mothers, and they have chased financial provision for the households. Now, if you were to lead, not with your pocket, but with your Creator and the God that you serve, you will attract the right kind of woman who's not going to hound you for Gucci bags. But because you are not yet godly as a man and you still have work to be done on you, you are still leading with your pocket. You are not yet a man if you're leading with your pocket. You are not yet a leader if you're leading with your pocket. You are not yet a provider if you're leading with your pocket. You are not yet a protector. You are a funder of lifestyle. And that is ungodly. And I'm not saying this saying I'm perfect where I'm sitting because Ketsapa Mudimu, no. Mudimu on correcta every day. Leka yena monno getting he's my future husband. On correcta every day. Ke tomaleleme every day. There are things that I want to tell that man. Sometimes when he just, and I feel like, and I've got to bite my tongue. Because learning him is a lifelong project. Helping him is a lifelong project. My purpose is biblical. I don't choose this purpose for myself. It's in the Bible, guys. It's in the Bible.
I'm glad, like, with even though we can have contrasting opinions, I'm just glad you are leading with a biblical mentality with everything that you're doing, and I'm glad that you also have your own mindset, because a lot of people now, their opinions are based on social media narratives.
I can't do that. I've got children
'Cause-
to raise.
Yeah, like, even now, I think also the biggest problem is, like, the role of a man is clear in society. We need to be providers, right? Like, that is, every man knows, as a man you need to be a provider. But I also think the biggest problem is the role of a woman is not clear in society.
A woman is a helper. Let's
Yes,
not
but
argue it.
yes, but it's not clear in society, because now we live with a lot of narratives on social media saying, a lot of women saying, I don't need to bring anything to a table. I am the table. So that is, like, if you look on social media,
We should not even be asking the question.
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But when we are just speaking from, in general, the
Of what's
frustrations
happening right
of men
now.
and women,
Mhm.
and why there's a big disconnect.
Yeah.
A lot of women have a mentality that I am the table. I don't need to bring anything to the table. So then, when the roles are not clear, when a man knows, okay, what I need to do, what I need to bring to the table, where my value is appreciated, if I am the provider. So then now men neglect all the other things they need to be, the ones that you pointed out. I need to be loyal. I need to be a woman. I need to be a man that supports my woman. All of that is neglected because the one that's put in the forefront is be a provider. I don't see a lot of women out there saying, I need a man that's gonna listen to me when I need to vent to him. I'm not seeing a lot of women saying, I need a man that's kind. I'm not seeing a lot of women saying, I need a man that needs to come from a good family where he's gonna understand the dynamic of a relationship. A lot of women are preaching that I need a provider. And that is like a common thread.
And it's
A lot of women are
unfortunate, yeah.
preaching they need a guy that can pay their bills. So guys feel if they can pay a woman's bills, they're sufficient enough for any woman. And we've seen a lot of guys right now thrive and have the most beautiful woman in the world based on their pockets. And from another perspective is, unfortunately, right now, we both need to play our roles for us to have a relationship that's healthy. So if a man is the only one that's put on a light to say, okay, look, play your role. Unfortunately, we both need to play our roles so there can be a healthy relationship between men and women.
And we should not even put that, what you're saying, which is very critical.
Yeah.
We need to play our roles. It should not even be put under the banner of a series of unfortunate things.
Yes.
It should be a fortune. It should be that it hurts me that we say, unfortunately, we both have to play our roles.
Yes.
It should be, fortunately, we play our roles with ease.
And
See what I mean? And we struggle
I
at
get you.
that.
And if I ask everyone, all the guys right here, right behind the cameras, if I ask them all what is a man's role, they're all gonna tell me to be a provider. If I ask them all what is a woman's role, I swear to God, we're not gonna get one answer. Because a woman's role is not clear in society. It's only the man's role now that's put in a situation where play this role. Women now have no accountability. Their role was not out there. It's not put out there.
And women have a lot of things to be accountable for. There are way too many things in society that women have to be accountable for.
So why is the woman's role not important, but the man's role is important?
You're the seeder.
No.
No, guys, wait. I'm not saying a woman's role is not important. That's why, if you can find comfort in the role that you have in society without comparison to another,
Yeah.
you'll grow faster by
I hear
leaps
you.
and bounds.
I hear you.
We hold ourselves back by comparing ourselves. Like if I spawn mais comparanela spawn endlin. I can't compare myself to my younger brother Ranaka.
I feel you.
You understand?
But the comparison is not within our
Yeah.
roles. Our comparison is a man is only great as a man if he has a woman, because women bring a lot to the table too. When you have a great woman, but we don't play the same roles. You know what I'm
Yeah, we
saying?
don't, yeah.
We play different roles. If I can ask, you've explained, okay, what is a man's role? Like, I can tell you don't think like you know what I'm saying, a typical woman, to put it out there, where you said, I am Bob the Builder. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women are not assuming that role. What do you think is a role of a woman? We've said, as a man, your role is to be a provider. What is a role of a woman?
What is a helpmate?
Okay.
Where's your phone?
We're not speaking from your point of view.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general.
In general,
What do you
in
think is a
general.
role of a woman?
Yeah, the role of a woman for
Yeah.
me, I don't want to take it out of biblical context. That's why I'm asking. Let's understand what the definition of a helpmate is.
Okay.
What is a helpmate? Let's go to Google and
Okay.
find out what
Let's
a
go to-
helpmate is. Yeah,
let's
let's
go
go
to
to Google. I left my phone over there. So we find out what the definition of a helpmate is, right?
Is that the role of a woman, a helpmate?
Because we're defined biblically. I stand to be corrected, love. Biblically, it's a helpmate, ne? Yeah. So if we look at the definition of what a helpmate is.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because now it's like a man's role is clear in society. Why is a woman's role not clear?
I don't understand why a woman's role is not clear. Why is it not clear to you? Because for me, honestly speaking, it's so clear.
No, I'm speaking
Yeah,
in general.
in
Okay.
general.
Let's say
Yeah.
this. Okay, look
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. Boki, what is the role of a woman?
Okay?
Okay, that's fine. Denzo, let's move on from you. He said a role of a woman is
It's
companionship.
yeah.
What is the role of a woman?
A comforter, a supporting
Comforter.
comforter.
Okay,
Supporting comforter,
what's the role of a woman?
a
Nurturer.
nurturer.
Kabza, what's the role of a woman?
To make your life easy. What's the role of a woman? She needs to be supportive.
Your man is laughing.
My man will laugh. Guys, my man will laugh. And can I tell you, ne? You see how we're disagreeing
Yeah.
here? These are literally, this is probably like a day in the life of my relationship. These are the chats. We were driving to Durban, ne? When we were having this sort of conversation.
Yeah.
We were driving to Durban. I was attending the Durban Film Art.
Yeah.
Ne? Baby, hold on. What's the role of a woman in a life, in a man's life? A multiplier. Okay, cool. So there's different.
You see, that's what I
narratives, yeah.
said.
So let's
if
go.
if I asked what's the role of a man, it would be so clear to every single person. Yeah.
Okay, pass me your phone. Let's go to Google. I want to ask Google a
Helpmate.
question.
Here's a helpmate.
This is a helpmate, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A helpful companion or partner, especially one's husband or wife. She acted as his pleasant but by no means uncritical helpmate, right? So companion, partner.
Can I have my phone
Right.
for 2 seconds? I just
2
want to show you
seconds?
something.
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah.
you
Show
something.
me. Hold on, before
No,
you do
no,
that.
please, I have to
Before,
show you
please,
something.
please, I beg. I'm on here. I just want to say biblical definition.
Okay. No, now you see, she said a role of a woman is helpmate, right?
Yeah.
And most women on social media say they are not Bob the Builder. So they've neglected their role completely. If you see what's happening
By
in
reason-
society,
and-
women have neglected their role
They have.
completely.
They have. I'm not justifying. Hear me. I'm not justifying. But there are many valid reasons why we are where we are. There are many valid reasons why we are where we are. Okay. I asked Google biblical role of a woman. Okay. Yahweh formed the woman as the helper. An epithet, I think that's how you pronounce it, often used of God as the deliverer.
Mhm.
The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds favor in the Lord, right?
I agree.
And we are designed for marriage. God loves the covenant.
Mhm.
Everything about him is like literally centered around the covenant.
Mhm.
The covenant. He does not identify with boyfriends and girlfriends.
Mhm.
This thing of us, what we are doing here, God doesn't see us. You don't count. Your relationship does not. Now, I count. I count, I can win. Siqhuba isikhathi nje siyakhaphana la emhlabeni. But when we elevate and advance to that level, you know, then God sees it and he is proud of it and he blesses it. And when he blesses it, he activates our roles in each other's lives, right? And then my whisperings to you, when I whisper them to you when we are married, hi Charlie, hey, the pillow talk, I'm a magician because things are moving, things are changing. Now with the things that you touch, there's favor on the things that you touch because we've got that anointing, you understand? So as the deliverer, my role through God's eyes is to deliver your favor, to your deliverance into favor. Ukilabo. But my role in that is to help you arrive there, to help you arrive at your deliverance. Ukilabo. So I don't like to confuse myself. That's why I say I'm very traditional. And my expectations have been consistent ever since I started talking. Guys, I'm 40 now. In this industry, I've been talking for 20 years the same thing about men and women. 20 years consistency. I will not budge, I will not move. The relationship will end if you will not mend because I'm ready to woman. And it's biblical. I'm not making this up. For me, in order to understand my role in us, I need to go to the Bible. It's like I can't buy a washing machine and just press buttons. I must read the user manual, right? So I've read my user manual. I understand it. I hope everyone can understand it. And seek those that are yoked with you. You'll know peace. And lead with integrity, loyalty, and honor. You'll know peace. Your pockets are not provision. Your pockets are not protection. Your pockets are a means to an end of suffering here while we live on earth. So don't date hungry girls. Make sure they've eaten where they come from. Make sure they've got the Uber Eats app. Well, I don't have. Use my Uber Eats app. True story.
No, but this is real talk.
This is real talk. Make sure they can also cook and clean. And not because it's a woman's role, but hygiene is important as we grow spiritually together.
Facts.
Make sure that man can also cook and clean for himself. Make sure in the event that you are unable to be of servitude in your relationship, that the soldier is not left stranded. So soldiers must come into this war and this battlefield armed. You understand? So if we just go to the Bible, guys, we'll have less confusion.
I'm glad we've come to understanding. And we're not supposed to be on this topic, guys, for this long.
For this
There's a
long.
million things I haven't asked Dineo that I'm supposed to
You've
ask her.
had Casper here 3 times. I'm sure you can call me back here again. It's fine. It's fine.
But we've been stuck on this conversation.
Because it's an important one.
It's an important conversation because there's a lot of disconnect between...
There's so much. And can I tell you why I find it to be such an important conversation? Have you noticed that when you are struggling in your romantic relationship, you are struggling also to perform in your professional relationships? Or you're struggling to show up as your professional self. When you are on good terms with your partner and things are rosy and things are right, ekaya, you flourish in all the areas of your life. So this thing, guys, it's our foundation. Let's not trivialize umjolo like it's just... No, guys, please.
It is your life.
It's your life. You know, I learned from divorce that this thing is a critical thing. It will derail you if you get it wrong. It will truly derail you if you choose wrong.
Okay. So now, other things I'm interested because I know we
Yes.
didn't cover a lot of
Oh,
topics we're supposed to discuss,
Yes,
and
yes.
time has passed.
Yes.
But I want to know about your spiritual journey that you've gone through. A lot of people because now, especially the last, I would say maybe 5 to 10 years, a lot of people have come out on social media saying, I've discovered myself
Yeah.
spiritually. I don't
Yeah.
know what's happened in society. But with you, it also happened earlier, before there was I don't know, people call it it's a thing now for a lot of people.
Oh, apparently it's
Yes.
a trend now, yeah.
Yeah. So how did it happen with you? And where are you right now spiritually?
Right now, spiritually, I am trying to understand God's purpose in my life God's design for me. So my blueprint from God, that's what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to go back to basics with God. Yeah. Anything else outside of that is a distraction. Yeah. Yeah. This is a decision we've taken in our relationship. That
It's interesting you actually, like the first thing I asked you, you went to the God conversation.
Yeah.
We had Boy T on this podcast, and there was a lot of like conversation between someone that is believes in God and is a Christian, and someone that's also gifted into Busangom also.
I don't think you are gifted into Bosangoma.
Yeah.
I will put it this way.
Yeah.
If I have the gift of speech,
Mm-hmm.
the gift of the gab,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can choose where to apply it.
Okay.
So Bosangoma is a platform.
Okay.
It's a platform.
Mm-hmm.
You are gifted to bring about healing and clarity on the healing journey
Okay.
for people that are struggling in a certain capacity.
Mm-hmm.
We have so easily attached the pathway to Bungaga, Fela, Bosangoma Fela. And I think we need to open up the avenue of what a gifted black healer looks like. It's not only umuntu osebenza as inyanga, isangoma, you know? I don't have to practice my healing capacity in only that. I can heal you by opening up my doors for you to say, well, come and sit down, have a talk to me. Let me listen to you. Let's unpack you. Let's unpack the areas in which you think you are struggling. Because I'm gifted in bringing about healing. So my words can be used either in poetry, my words can be used in music. So we've got genres of where we can, and platforms where I can be a public speaker, an inspirational, motivational speaker, or I can use my words in written format and just publish books that will bring about healing. So these channels are different. So it's not necessarily that when you are gifted to bring about healing, you have to serve as Isangoma, and this is what I learned. But after your initiation, we must understand and give respect and space to the fact that everybody's journey is different. And when you are out of your initiation, your biggest struggle is to identify your placement in how you wish to operate as a healer. And many of us retatlela mo bongakeng because that is what we are taught. In nasephehlweni basifundisa kona lokho ukuthi mawuphuma la uyophuma usebenze as inyanga nton. But when you stop for a little bit and you hand yourself over to God and you divorce yourself from everything else, He will then begin to guide you as to where you can, what platform to best use to channel your gift. And He will guide you. Gore wena, I want you to help me with this collective of people. Wena, you are designed for that collective of people. So not really that we have to become sangomas. We don't have to. And this is what I learned. And this is what, when I took a look at myself in the mirror and I said, I have to be honest with myself. I am a healer. I am gifted. I know the strength of where I'm called and gifted, but I don't have to be inyanga and I'm not going to practice. And I made a choice not to practice also because a lot of practicing invites a lot of darkness. So in spirituality, there's a very thin line between being on the right side of the fence and practicing witchcraft. So it's wishy-washy, man. Khona doing a shaya manzi, man. So I decided, that I saw, I journeyed. I've got nothing to criticize and nothing negative to say, but my positioning as a healer is different. Yes, it's different. I will not be operating from Indumba. I will not be throwing bones. I will not be doing the things of the night in the dark that I was taught. My commitment to my journey with God refuses for me to do that. There's a very thin line. We are advised, just because you can deny sin, it does not mean you should walk with it. In actual fact, run from it. It doesn't make you a fool or weaker, it makes you but the wiser. So it's not a practice that I wanted to fully explore. We're not all designed for that. Yeah.
So, like, when you say it's not a practice that you wanted to fully explore, are you saying right now? What's the date? Um,
The 6th.
the 6th of December.
Yeah.
As Dineo 2024, you are not practicing Busangoma at all.
No, I'm not practicing Busangoma. I never did practice Busangoma.
Okay, you just had a calling.
I had a plan to.
Yes.
Is it 6?
Shout out to our sponsor, Ringers. If you've been watching this podcast, you know they've been riding with the L-TIDO Podcast since the beginning of the year. Shout out to Ringers. We want to leave you guys with a good festive mood. So there's a little competition we're running with Ringers, right? I want you guys to be good for the festive season. If you want to call your girlfriend, I don't want you to struggle with airtime or data. You know what I'm saying? Imagine your girl saying, come over now, and you can't respond because you don't have no data. You'll be playing yourself, right? I wouldn't do that to yourself. So here we go. I'm going to let you guys win data worth 100 Rand from Ringers. So all you have to do is answer this simple question. Answer, where can you get a Ringers voucher from? It's that simple. I made it easy for you guys so you have a good festive season. All right, let's go. So many topics we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
We definitely have to do a part 2 with Dineo because there's so many things I'm going to ask her. But before, how we close off our podcast,
Yes.
we always close it off with a prayer.
Yes.
You know, and I've seen throughout our conversation, you're actually a spiritual human being, and I'm glad you are. Could you please just leave us before we just close off this podcast with a little prayer? Especially now, it's December. Please be safe on the road, guys.
Yeah.
This might be our last podcast actually of the year. Thank you to everybody that's been watching this podcast. We grew so much in
Well
2024.
done, Tito. Well done.
You know what I'm saying? Let's
Well
actually
done.
clap it up for the L-TIDO Podcast.
Well done.
It's been an amazing year, and
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody that subscribed to our channel. If you haven't subscribed, I don't usually say that. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? When you subscribe, you actually you know every time we drop, so you know to be locked in and tapped in what we're doing. I appreciate everybody that's been watching this platform. We grew so much. We were nominated for Podcast of the Year on so many platforms. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate all of that. I want to thank everybody that's in the team working behind the scenes. Yes, it's called the L-TIDO Podcast.
I'm gonna just thank MT there for the avocado also. Thank MT for
Thank
that
you
avocado.
to MT for the avocado because that went super viral. And I want to thank every
It
guy
did.
that's because the podcast is called the L-TIDO Podcast. Some people think no, I'm not the only one that's actually producing the show. There's a lot of people involved behind the scenes that makes the show a success. So when we're closing off the year, I want to give a personal shout out to everybody behind the scenes. Let's give a shout out to Kabza, my boy Denzo, my boy Boki, my boy C's, my boy Pange, and we'll give a shout out to also Toto. She's not here with us. And we'll give a shout out to the new intern Karabo. You know what I'm saying?
Karabo,
And before we leave it on a good note, can we please have a prayer from Dineo? I know this one's going to be special. Can everybody come in for this prayer? Yeah. Can
Oh
everybody
my
come in?
gosh.
Every podcast.
Heavenly Father, full of grace, we invite the Holy Spirit into this space. Ntate, Rara, ra go leboga. Re leboga seo re diriseng sona maabane. Re leboga tseo di etseditseng tsona gompieko. Re leboga tseo tla tsoga o di etse ka moso. Re leboga o tisitse L-TIDO in this period and this phase of his, of rediscovering himself through engaging in meaningful, deep conversations with different people, conversations that have brought joy to people that needed joy at the time, conversations that have brought a triggering of thought process to people that needed to think at the time, conversations that have triggered feelings to those that needed to feel at the time. A well-rounded entertainment, much provided. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you for the talented people in the space. Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the ability to express ourselves as creatives, to express ourselves as individuals that have and hold a vision, visions that need to be brought to life, visions that are seeds, little gifts from you that you entrusted us with. Let it be that they see more success, use them more, grow them more, expose them more, increase their territory a little bit more, keep them responsible. Let them not take this for granted and trivialize it and use it as a platform to spew nonsense into society. Let them constantly walk beside you, invite you into the space. Ntate re leboga le batho ba ba godisitseng, ba ba godisitse gore ba nne bana batho ba ba kgona go bona gore in society this is what is needed. Bless their lineage. Bless them as they journey on breaking generational curses. Bless them as they fight demons that only you know about, Father. Bless them as they try their level best to present themselves as the better version of themselves. Father, don't stray away from them. Never do you stray away from us. Keep a door open for them, Father, when they stray, that it's easy for them to come back to you. Should they? I trust they won't. They don't know what's happening right now that you're cooking for them. But I can only pray that their spirits are faithful enough to believe that you'll see about them. And if they can just be a little bit more patient, that they'll know why you seated in L-TIDO for this podcast to be. Amen.
Amen. Wow.
Okay.